Okay, well, I'm on my way to the National Night Out here in Ephrata. It's a beautiful day, beautiful farmland. And I'm headed right over there. That's where thank you. That's where it's all taking place. We had to park a little bit further away, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go there, set up my table, and, just share some of the collection with everybody. Well, I'm back from setting up a display of my old cuffs at the Ephrata area National Night Out, and now it's time to unpack everything and put everything away. And in case you didn't make it there, this way you get to see some of the stuff that I brought. Okay, hope you guys enjoy it. All right, well, here we go. Okay, first we have the tag from the Big Nose George leg shackles. Let's see. Where did he go? Okay, got a pair of thumb cuffs, assorted keys, a Hyatt, and a Smith & Wesson cutaway. Funny, nobody asked me about that. It was the weirdest thing. We have in here the Adams. These are the patent pending ones. The Adams, the other pair. And I think these are the Rankins, yep. I also brought Rankins. Strange, nobody asked me about that either. But I did mention the fact that they came from the Philadelphia area. Here's Clay Juice Oats. What's this? The Bean Giant. This one brought a lot of interest, of course. Here's the big boys. These brought a lot of interest, and people wanted to pick these up just to see the weight, and that was pretty cool. And I like the fact that they, look so odd. I mean, almost medieval is what a lot of folks were saying. Here's my Clejuso drawer. And again, check out my other videos to see all these guys. A pair of Peerless leg irons. They brought a little bit of interest. Put them in the Smith & Wesson. And I brought a pair of Hinge so people could see the different varieties of what's in use today. A lot of folks remembered being in them. And the Iron Claw. I brought 2 sets of nippers with me. The mechanical claw, the more modern, and I think a set of Phillips, I forget. Anyway, these go here. Claw with the claw. Smith & Wesson with the Smith & Wesson drawer. And the hinged, no name with the generic drawer. Okay. By the way, this cart came in really handy because it doubled as a chair, and it was an old tool chest that I bought and never really used for tools, but it has wheels, and I think I'm going to use that from now on. Chain twister, brought that brought some interest. There's the Big Nose George leg irons. People were really into that. Carefully back in here. very, very rare drawer. And a chain twister goes with the others. Okay. And there was room in here. I just used lots and lots of cloth wrapping. Hyatts, Darbys. They were very interested when I brought up the scene in Titanic. So anyway, sometimes you just have to relate it to something that folks recognize right away. I have a whole drawer just for Hyatt Darbys. Okay. Here's the Hope cuffs for a fabulous gift. Thank you again. Did a great show on that recently. And they, because of the trigger, go in the Maltby drawer, if you guys remember. And then we have a pair of Maltbys heading up. Oh, Boer War. People like these too. They were really interested in the key for this. That was cool. Then Russian cuffs. I didn't have enough space in the two display cases or another table to bring. You know, I didn't know how much space it was allocated to me. So it was a learning experience. But, you know, so I brought just a few examples from other countries. You know, just another interesting tidbit. And, of course, a jail lock. I had to bring a jail lock. Here are the Bilbos. And again, you know, folks were saying that the shackle part looks too new to be authentic, but the main reason I bought them was because of the bar and the age of the chain and the fact that the guy that sold them to me, it was at a antique gun show, and they had strict limitations on what people could and could not sell as far as age and, you know, paperwork and provenance and all that stuff. Unfortunately, I did not get a receipt from the guy, but he still sets up at shows, and when the next one comes around, I think I'll, you know, ask him if he remembers me. Probably doesn't, but it's worth a shot. So like I said, you got to learn as you go as a collector, and when I first started out, I didn't even think about getting, you know, or saving the paperwork like receipts and stuff, because I was just too thrilled with getting the cuffs. But, you know, then the Antiques Roadshow taught me a lot. So, Hamburg Gates didn't bring as much interest as I thought, but they were kind of cool, you know, I mean, another example of an unusual design. That's why I brought them. Where's the shirt? There we go. And with the others. And now that I've experienced the National Night Out, next year I know what to expect and I'll be better prepared, because this is my first time. Like I said, I had no idea, you know, what was going on. Okay, here are the H&R Supers. Folks enjoyed them as well. Which way do I have them? For heaven's sakes. Grit. Ah, there they are. And I was very careful to really wrap everything and take a good inventory and whatnot. Bean and the Maltby. These are the ones that say Department of Justice. They go back in the Maltby drawer. I love my Maltbys, and I love my beans. These are the ones that say Lancaster County Sheriff. And that was the pair that I bought, and I didn't know that they were engraved when I bought them at an auction. It was just a great little surprise. The Marlins. People like the shape of these too. They've never seen anything like it, they said. So that was cool. And that was the whole point of setting up at the night out. It was to show people things that maybe they'd never seen before. And the towers. A couple of the retired cops said they remembered seeing somebody with them back in the day, but they didn't know what happened to them, so I couldn't buy them. Anyway. Okay. Here's the jail key. Put that back. Oh, and the other nipper. There's two more, and I know what drawer they came in. One was the Lily irons, which people really, enjoyed they recognized them once I told them about the Lincoln aspect, the Lincoln conspirator photo that everyone sees in their history books in America. So people really dug that, and they were like recognizable. There you go. More. And finally, the one that I really carefully wrapped in bubble wrap was the bean neck collar. My pride and joy, my baby. Ugh, I still can't believe that I'm lucky enough to have one with the handcuffs. I mean, please look at my old videos of when I got this. Yeah, you're gonna hate me, but it just goes to show that there's still things to be had. Don't give up collecting. So we're going to put him back in the drawer. Back in this cozy little house with his friends. And I think I'm going to keep all this stuff here in my little cart for the next time. For the next time somebody wants to see the handcuff display. And I got a few odds and end keys just to put away. No biggie. Okay, so that. I'll show you the cart in a minute. It has a handle on it and wheels and everything, man. It's pretty cool. And it holds a lot of weight. That's it right there. And then the handle comes out all the way, and then it's got wheels. So how cool is that? That's where I just did that recently. Behind that is 12 boxes of Magic magazines, thousands of them. All right, well, that does it for this week's edition of Off the Cuff. I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers, many of whom I met at the show that I just did. And, welcome aboard. Please check out the other videos on the channel. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. Sorry it's been a while since I posted, but we had some storm damage here at the house, so I've been dealing with that for the past month or so. But, things are looking up, I hope. Anyway. All right, well, we will see you again next time.